Hello everyone, this is the video for our teaching material of the Character Building Kewarganegaraan course. Our topic for today would be the sustainable cities and communities. Our group consists of Micky, myself, Chris, Louis, and Rafael. Alright, firstly, what is sustainable cities and communities? What exactly makes a city or community sustainable? It's not just about recycling and using energy efficient light bulbs, it's about a holistic approach that balances one key point, which is social sustainability. At the heart of a sustainable city are its people. A strong sense of community where everyone feels valued and included is essential. This means creating safe and accessible neighborhoods, investing in public health and education, along with fostering opportunities for civic engagement.
Next is the importance of sustainable cities and communities. It's for building a better future for AI. What are the main parts of sustainable cities and communities? So basically there are five main parts, which are the economic prosperity, which serves as incubators for sustainable cities, intertwining growth with environmental responsibility by fostering green industries. This approach not only attracts investments but also generates employment opportunities, laying the groundwork for long term economic stability. Social equity and inclusivity is at the heart of sustainable urban development lies a commitment to social equity and inclusivity. The benefits of progress are consciously distributed among all residents, ensuring equitable access to education, healthcare, and housing. The third is smart urban planning. What is smart urban planning? It represents a key pillar of responsible development, and this involves efficient land use, mixed land use development, and the creation of pedestrian friendly environments. The fourth is cultural preservation, which it is beyond environmental and economic considerations. These cities incorporate cultural elements into urban planning. By supporting local art traditions and preserving historical sites, they foster a sense of identity and pride among residents. Last but not least is the global collaboration, which by exchanging best practices and ideas with other urban centers, they contribute to our broader global sustainability agenda. Lessons learned from sustainable urban development serve as a catalyst for positive change on a global scale, emphasizing the interconnectedness of our planet.
Alright, so next we have how can sustainable cities be achieved through community engagement? Alright, so these are the four main ways. The first is inclusive decision making, in which we involve diverse community members in decision making processes related to urban planning and development. We could conduct public hearings, workshops, and forums to gather input on key issues, ensuring that the voices of all community members are heard. The second, we have education and awareness. So, through education and awareness, we could educate the community about the principles and benefits of sustainability. And we could raise awareness about the environmental and social impact of various urban development projects. The third possible measure that we have is accessible transportation. Now, why accessible transportation? If we work with the community to design and implement transportation solutions that prioritize walking, cycling, and public transit, we would have a much more accessible city. And if we could also seek input on the development of bike lanes, pedestrian friendly infrastructure, and public transit routes. And last but not least, we have collaborative planning, in which we foster collaboration between local government, businesses, nonprofit organizations, and residents to develop comprehensive and inclusive urban plans. And we can establish partnerships with community organizations and academic institutions to leverage expertise and resources.
Next up, we have negative effects if there were no sustainable cities and communities. The absence of sustainable cities and communities, particularly without adequate community engagement and participation, can lead to several negative effects. First one, we have exacerbated inequality. Without sustainable development efforts and inclusive engagement, disparities in access to resources, services, and opportunities can widen, leading to increased inequality within communities. Second of all, we have environmental degradation. Lack of community engagement in sustainable initiatives may result in unchecked urbanization, pollution, deforestation, habit destruction, and depletion of natural resources, exacerbating environment problems. Next, we have social fragmentation. In the absence of community engagement, social cohesion may weaken, leading to fragmented communities with limited collaboration, trust, and a diminished sense of belonging, potentially fostering social isolation and conflict. Next up, we have inadequate infrastructure and services. Communities without sustainable planning and participation may suffer from inadequate infrastructure such as roads, sanitation, and utilities, impacting residents' quality of life and health outcomes. Next up, we have vulnerability to disasters. Without community involvement in disaster risk reduction and preparedness, cities and communities become more vulnerable to natural disasters and their devastating effects, leading to higher casualties and severe economic losses. Next, we have economic instability. Communities without a sustainable planning and community participation may face economic instability due to lack of job opportunities, poor infrastructure for business, and inadequate access to market. We also have lack of resilience. Communities without sustainable practices and engagement are less likely to be resilient in the face of economic, social, or environmental challenges, making recovery and adaptation more difficult. Next, we have loss of cultural heritage. Insufficient engagement in preserving cultural heritage can lead to the loss of traditional languages and historical sites, impacting the identity and heritage of communities. Last but not least, we have policy ineffectiveness. Lack of community engagement can result in policy decisions that do not reflect the needs and aspirations of the people, leading to ineffective implementation and dissatisfaction among residents. These negative effects emphasize the critical importance of community engagement and participation in building sustainable cities and communities. Meaningful engagement empowers communities to shape their futures, fosters ownerships, and ensure that development efforts are aligned with local needs and priorities, leading to more resilient, inclusive, and prosperous communities. That's it from us. Thank you.